Be honest. Did you start 2024 with this big vision of who you wanted to become by the end of it? Maybe you set New Year's resolutions like getting more fit, starting the gym, getting serious in studies. Maybe you believed the same old hype of new year, new me, guys. Maybe you believed in that new year, new me hype, expecting you to change somewhat. But a couple weeks into 2024 now and you're still the same person, nothing's changed. The problem isn't so much you not being able to change or not having the right goals. The reason why you're struggling to change so much is because you have the mindset and identity of someone who's struggling to change rather than the mindset and identity of the person you want to be. Like I said in the intro, you may have gone into this year visualizing yourself working hard on goals or working hard on these aspirations that you have to achieve this year. This alone proves that you have the motivation to actually go out and do those. You just can't gather that last bit of courage and confidence it takes to actually continue going and continue grinding. Put it like this. You have the goals of a world-class athlete without having the mindset of a world-class athlete. You have the goals and aspirations of a successful student without having the mindset of a successful student. The problem with the whole belief of new year, new me is that nothing actually changes. There's no mindset or identity shift within you. You just stay the same person with the same self-negative beliefs. That new year, new me hype gives you that short-term motivation to go out and chase those goals for like a week, 2 weeks, and then after that you just have no motivation. The reason why I'm emphasizing changing your identity and mindset is because the identity that we carry directly correlates to how we live life. If you have the mindset of a successful YouTuber, you'll become a successful YouTuber. If you have the identity of a world-class footballer, you'll become a world-class footballer. Yes, it's easier said than done, but all it will require to get there is time, because you'll have the same mindset of that successful person you want to be. Therefore, you'll make the same decisions that they make, you'll act in the way that they act, and so that eventually leads to success. If the successful person you want to be is an athlete, if you have their mindset, you'll start sleeping better, you'll start eating better, you'll start exercising. Not because that's what's required to actually get there. It's because you know it's what you need to do if you want to become successful. So you just do it. You can also just flip it on its head so you have a better idea of what I'm saying. If you're carrying a negative self-belief like, oh, I can never become a footballer, a successful footballer, I can never become a successful YouTuber, it's not for me. How are you supposed to get there? It's much easier to have those negative self-beliefs because you know for a fact they're true right now. It requires that courage to actually go out and be successful, to actually have the mindset of a successful person. It requires courage because you're putting your belief in something that you don't have yet or that you haven't experienced yet. Whether you like it or not, you're already carrying an identity, whether it's a good one or a bad one. All that's needed for you to actually know what that is take a step back and just look at your life from an outside perspective. How do you act? How do you speak? What habits are you doing? What actions are you taking? If your current identity doesn't align with the goals that you have and the person that you want to become, then you already know that a change is in order. Not just in your habits, but in your identity. So how do you actually change your identity? How do you actually go about doing that? Simply, it starts with actually just identifying who you want to become. So you can think back to the start of the year or maybe late last year when you were imagining yourself as this like, I don't know your goals, I don't know what you want to achieve, but if you can just imagine that and visualize that, maybe there's actually a person that you look up to, an inspiration in that field that you want to be successful in. What you need to do is learn as much as possible on them. You start making those changes and you start applying those traits to yourself, and then you start seeing yourself heading in that direction of that successful person you want to be. Automatically, since your identity is shaping your thoughts and it's shaping the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis. If you really looked up to Ronaldo and you wanted to be a world-class footballer and you started learning about everything about how Ronaldo trains, how he eats, how he sleeps, everything like that, you'll start making the decisions that Ronaldo would make. For example, if your parents brought home some McDonald's from work or whatever and you knew for a fact there was healthier options to eat at home, you'd be like, actually, you know what, successful footballer or Ronaldo wouldn't make the decision to eat this McDonald's right now. I'm gonna have some healthy food. I got bad. Actually, you're such an unserious YouTuber. Applying that successful person's habits and traits to yourself and shaping your identity to fit more of theirs, you'll start automatically heading in that direction, and then you'll finally start changing. A man cannot rise above how he sees himself. It's likely that you see yourself as this lazy and person. But if you see yourself like that, how can you expect yourself to change or make any progress? You have to also change the way you see yourself to change your identity. When I was in college, so the start to the year 2021, 3 years Oh, 2021 was 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I fell into the same trap of leaving, new year, new me, all of that hype and everything. So I got a gym membership to Pure Gym. But the problem was I still had the mindset of a person who was a lazy person. He didn't know much about the gym. So I literally hit a workout and then go to McDonald's straight after. Post-workout McDonald's, guys. Hey, you gotta hit the protein, McNuggets and everything. So I didn't know much about the gym. I didn't know much about progressive overload or time under tension or any of that stuff. So how much progress do you think I made then? Barely any at all. And I quit within 2 weeks, true story. But in 2022, so nearly a whole 2 years later, because this was around September 2022. So I believed that, okay, if I simply just change my mindset on how I am going to the gym, then surely I'll make more progress. And sure enough, it worked. I started watching all of the YouTube videos on gym, and literally I became a complete obsessed freak over the gym. I started learning everything. I started literally writing notes and everything, making sure I was applying what I learned in the gym. I started adopting the mindset of somebody who actually knew what they were doing in the gym, and so I actually started making progress. It wasn't until I changed my mindset and I changed my identity of the person I was going into the gym that I actually started to make progress and where I started to change. So you see how a simple tweak in your identity can actually lead you on a path to change more than some motivation can, because what you're chasing becomes something that you must achieve as a result of your identity, rather than something that you just want to achieve because of motivation. The life that you want isn't gonna come easy. You're not supposed to feel confident. You're not supposed to feel ready, and you're not supposed to feel like you know everything before you're going into it, because becoming a new person is like exploring new territory. You're gonna feel lost and you're gonna feel doubtful about whether it will actually work out, but you just need to understand that this is a part of the journey. The life that you want isn't gonna come easy, and it's gonna require a lot of hard work, but I promise you, it's worth it. I post videos on self-improvement and ways you can improve your life, so if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe with the post notification bells on so you don't miss another video. Share this video to someone who might need it. I'd be very grateful. I'll see you in the next video. Learn and take action. Take care, man.